Hey folks, welcome back to the Transplant Helper again today. My name is Jim Burrell, and we're not doing the typical kind of program today as far as me doing what I typically would do, which is to help to advocate, educate, and motivate you as a transplant patient. But I did want to pause for one of the most important things I'm ever able to do here on the program, and that is to ask you to pause and offer up very special prayers, and that's prayers with an S today, on behalf of a few special people that are connected to the transplant world in one way or another, who are having difficulties along with their families and really struggling right now. So, very beginning of this, I can't go on without mentioning the one that's mostly on our minds, especially here in the state of Alabama, and that is Bibb County Sheriff's Deputy Brad Johnson. Brad was actually killed in the line of duty back about a day ago, time of the recording of this video. His family has actually chosen, by his wishes, to donate his organs. So my understanding is his organs are going to several different recipients around the southeast, particularly around the Birmingham area, I hope, and that's going to really make a difference in so many people's lives. But I did want to offer my personal sympathy to the family and all the difficulties they're going through, to really just this whole thing that just really should not have happened in this case. So my sympathies to the family of Brad Johnson, and please be praying for all the men in blue, if you will, and particularly for this family, and thank them for the donation that they're making. I totally understand that this is not going to take away the pain in any way, but it actually offers promise and hope to someone on the other end. As a heart transplant recipient, I can tell you firsthand what an opportunity a donation like this will make. But keep them in your prayers in the coming days. Definitely a sad thing to see this happening. In addition to that, I want to ask you, if you don't mind, to please pause and pray for a good friend of mine, a friend of the program, Carl Rouse. Now, Carl happens to be the administrator of the Heart Transplant Family US group, which is one of the larger transplant groups that I'm a member of, certainly one of the most active, and Carl does an outstanding job as the administrator of that group to always kind of keep things in check and always to make sure that it's filled with good advice, good information, and tremendous support. But Carl is having a very difficult time right now. I've got a post I'll pop up here on the screen in just a moment from him, but basically Carl is struggling right now with something known as amyloidosis, which, if you're not familiar with that, basically your body begins to produce some strange proteins. It's fairly rare, but some strange proteins that begin to interfere with the function of pretty much any organ in your body, and there's really no cure for such. However, there is some treatments that are available there, but they're really, really difficult chemo type, cancer type treatments that they go through. And I think Carl's on a pretty long run of these, and he's had some difficulties. Again, the post here kind of shares some of his feelings about that. And so to you, Carl, I want you to know that I'm praying for you. The entire Transplant Helper community is doing the same. I really appreciate all you've done for us in the past. You're kind of one of our heroes, but I absolutely will be praying for you in the days to come, that this can be kind of kept at bay and that you can have the most success that you can and continue on this wonderful journey that you have used as an example to all of us. Yet another one I want to add to the list is a good friend of mine, one who I've talked with quite a bit over on Messenger and seen through these groups. He's often commenting on my videos, big supporter, and that is Michael Twitchell. Michael is actually facing his first, what he called, a bump in the road. He's dealing with a little bit of slight rejection. Thankfully, it's not that much, but there are going to be some medication changes he has to deal with. And, you know, when it's your first time, you get hit in the face with that. You don't want to hear that. You're always cheering to go into those biopsies and come out with zero rejection. He's not having that right now. A little bit more severe than that. Albeit I think he's going to be totally fine with minimal intervention. But I just want to let you know, Michael, I am praying for you. I know it's difficult, but you got this. I'm absolutely certain you have got this. And then one more I want to add, and I'm missing a ton of people, but I certainly want to add my great friend, a friend of the program, a friend of so many of you, Bailey Craig. Bailey has just been a warrior, a hero, if you will, in the lung transplant world. And I've known Bailey for many, many years. If I recall right, she waited on the transplant list for 5 or 7, I'm confused now, but for a long, long time, she waited for that wonderful gift of life via lung transplant, which she received a few years back, but it did not come easy to her. She had a lot of difficulties, I think some brain bleeds and different things, some challenges. she's been through a lot, and she's done very well. She's pulled out and kind of leveled off, and I really love seeing you, Bailey. When I catch you in clinic, getting to see you in person, the hugs, the little snappy, what do you call them, selfies that we take. I love that. But right now, Bailey is struggling. She has been admitted back over to UAB Hospital. Her lung function is currently down at 12% right now, so they really kind of get a plan of attack on that, and they've had to place I almost call it a GI. What is a GJ or JG tube? Anyway, a feeding tube. And I understand that she's not going to be able to eat real food for like 6 weeks. So that within itself would be a struggle. But Bailey, again, I know that you're a warrior. I know that you're strong. And I'm certainly, as always, please know, Bailey, I'm one of your biggest fans. I'm cheering for you and I'm praying for you. And I know there's going to be a solution. There's going to be something that comes up that's going to make it possible for you to just carry through and get over this giant hump. I wouldn't even call it a bump, but a giant hump in the road. But you can get past this. So I just wanted to stop and ask you to pray for each of these people, again, to rename them, the family of Brad Johnson, the officer that was killed and is involved in organ donation right now. Also, Carl Rouse, the Heart Transplant U.S. Family Group, Michael Twitchell, and also Bailey Craig. Please pray for them, all friends of mine, friends of the program. And there are many others. And by the way, with that being said, I would love it if you need prayers or would just invite prayers to you, comment below. Let me know. I'd love to be praying for you in my personal time and perhaps sharing some of those if we need. And I know there are many that I've missed. There's so many that I'm following on Facebook right now. It's just kind of a struggling time for whatever reason. But for those of us who continue to strive and to find victory in this, congratulations. It's a wonderful journey. It's difficult. There are some times they're hard, but it is a great journey and it's worth every single moment of it. Organ donation, I supported 1,010%, and I know that you do as well. But let's pray for one another on this. Let's make sure that everyone has the prayers and the support that they need. Reach out to a friend today, maybe someone involved in this. Reach out to them, just let them know personally. Maybe send them a text or a message and let them know you're praying for them. That's always extremely encouraging and beneficial. But until next time, each and every one of you, please stay stronger, my friend.